All right, we're recording. My name's Dan Steinhaus. I'm an MGA here with Lincoln Heritage and agency manager of the Steinhaus Insurance Group. So, in this segment, I'm going to show you how to do neighborhood enrollment. What is neighborhood enrollment? It's good old fashioned door to door, knocking on doors, cold canvassing, whatever you want to call it. This is what our former CEO, Jack London, did and how he created Lincoln Heritage and started his business just by the old fashioned parking your car and walking around the block and talking to people. So, before I get in the actual script of what I say and objections of what you'll hear from potential clients, I want to make sure you got everything you need. You want to look clean cut, get your green shirt on, you have your ID badge. All right, it makes you look more credible, very much more professional. Make sure your beard is shaved. Whatever. If you're a lady, make sure your beard shaved too. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just kidding. In your bag here, this is what I use. It weighs probably about 40 pounds. I have everything in it, but that's just what I prefer. So you have to do whatever works for you. Okay, now in your bag, what I highly recommend is to have these three things available. You have in one pocket your business cards, easily accessible. I also keep my delivery notices in here, but this is neighborhood enrollment, so we don't use delivery notices for neighborhood enrollment. Okay, pens, extra things in here. Okay, and then in this tiny little pocket here, I have a small little stapler. I have the stapler in here, so when I do set an appointment with someone, if I can't get in the house on right at that moment, I'll staple my business card on the back. And staple to a brochure and write the day, date, and time of the interview, or I'm sorry, of the appointment, and tell them to put it on the refrigerator so they have something tangible in their hand. Okay. Now, what I also have in my briefcase here are two things. I'm going to use these insert. These are called inserts. All right, and these are postage paid. They're color front and back, and they're cardstock. It costs, as of the time of this video is being made, they cost $150 for 3,000 of them. Okay, so in the future, I'm sure that cost is going to go up. But as of now, of 2017, that's what they cost. Now I also have these brochures here. This is the Funeral Advantage Leave Behind brochure, and these are amazing. This is my crutch. If I stumble or can't really think of anything to say quick enough, I just bust this out at the door and start going over it. All right, so these are two key things that I use that help me get into a door when doing neighborhood enrollment. Okay, so all that's important. So, okay, here we go. We're gonna do a little role play here with myself and show you how what I do. My nickname actually used to be the Street King. I guess it still is, but no one calls me that anymore. So I'm gonna go up to let's say you're in the neighborhood of a client that already filled out a lead. They're not home, so there's neighbors home. That means you're automatically in the demographic of people that buy from us, and most likely they probably received a little brochure in the mail from Lincoln Heritage if they are between the ages of 50 and 85, roughly there. Okay, because the neighbors are going to be in the same income demographic. So I go up to the door and I knock, nice friendly knock, 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 whatever it is, and I step away. Okay, and the reason why I step away is because I want to see if there's movement in the windows upstairs and downstairs. Grandma might be upstairs peeking out like, oh, who is that? And if you're right there at the door, you're not going to see her. Okay, so you want to step away, and you're also less threatening, less intimidating when you're further away. So then when someone does come to the door, okay, you're going to give them a big cheesy smile. Hey, how you doing? And just smile. That's it. That's all you have to do. Like you're happy. You should be happy. And they come to the door, and they're gonna open the door, and they're gonna be like, "Yes," and you just simply say, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Dan. I'm with Lincoln Heritage. You may have seen our commercial on TV called the Funeral Advantage Plan. We're just going around your community today. I want to make sure everyone's protected, and I just wanted to give you one of our free brochures." And you hand it to them. So you start far away, and this brochure here, the insert that I talked about, is your ticket to get closer to them. Okay. So again, you're going to say something different every single time, but I'm going to go over it one more time. So knock knock, Step away. They come to the door. They go, "Hi, how are you?" Like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Dan. I'm just going around your community today. I want to make sure everyone's protected here. I want to give you one of our free brochures. Okay, here you go. You may have seen our commercial on TV called Funeral Advantage. Do you have any coverage currently?" And they're gonna say, then you wait, and they go, and they're gonna stare at it, and they're gonna go, okay, yeah, I'm good. Let's go with that. Objections now. No, I'm good. I have coverage already. Oh, okay, that's through your work, correct? Well, yeah. Well, it's only good as you're working there. When I changed careers and doing this now, I lost my old coverage through my old company. So I'm sure you don't want to work there when you're 90. So this is something permanent you always have. We pay out in 24 hours. There's free funeral planning that's going to save your family hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And there's no physical exam. I tell you what, you don't even have to do anything now. It takes about 7 to 12 minutes to go over everything with you. Where's a good place to sit down? I can go just see what you qualify for. There's no physical. And they say, oh, well, now is not a good time. So, okay. It's definitely good to have coverage. And here's your response. Let's definitely have permanent coverage. Our plans are as low as $15 a month. And again, there's no obligation. We can just go through a few health questions, see what you qualify for, and just see if there's a fit. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. You can kick me out. I don't mind. And they go, well, thank you. Just give me your card. So, okay, well, I tell you what, let me give you this brochure here. All right. So then you bust this out. So let me just at least give you this information. And then you open it up. So you're buying more time. All right. And again, this is at a random person's house. Okay. We pay out in 24 hours. And you just go through the bullet points here. And on this side, we pay out in 24 hours. There's a one-page application, very simple. People with cancer or heart problems, diabetes, they're able to get coverage with us. Your rate's locked in. And then we also have free funeral planning where we'll shop around and we'll compare up to 3 different funeral homes and save your family hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I tell you what, I pretty much just went over everything with you. I can just see what you qualify for and, see if there's a fit and go from there. And they're like, no, really, I don't have time right now. I really have to go. Okay, well, not a problem. Well, I tell you what, my schedule books up very quickly, and they send me all over whatever state you're in, all over Virginia, all over Pennsylvania to see clients. But I will be in your area Monday and Tuesday. What time would work well for you? And this point now, you're pulling out your planner, all right? So we're just gonna pretend I have my planner out. Pull my planner out. So what day would work? What time would work well for you? Morning, afternoon, or evening? Well, mornings would be better. Okay, great. I have a 9:15 and a 10:45. Which time would work better for you? 10:45. Okay, great. So 10:45, and you're writing down in your planner. Okay, great. I got you in my planner here, and I tell you what, I'm gonna write it down for you on this here. So again, my name is Dan. That's Monday, 10:45, whatever date that is. Okay, and put this on your refrigerator, all right, so you don't forget about me. And is this just for you, or is this for someone else that you want to be there too? And if they say, oh, it's just for me, then great. If they say, it's for me and my wife, or me and my husband. Okay, your husband or wife, they'll be there at that same time too. And if they say yes, great. If they say no, then I tell you what, why don't we coordinate a time when both of you guys are there? That way you'll be on the same page, and I'm sure you'll want to hear all the benefits together, because there's responsibilities each of you may have when that time comes. So when's a good time when both of you are available, and then schedule that. Okay, so then if you can't schedule the appointment, then at least just give them this, get their contact information. Okay, so your first goal is to get in the door. If you can't get in the door, then your goal is to schedule an appointment. Okay, so you get in the door. No. Okay, schedule an appointment. No from the client. All right, at least get their contact information. No. Then at least then get referrals. Okay, so if let's say she won't schedule an appointment with me, I'll say, okay, well, I tell you what, my schedule's busy. I know I caught you off guard, but I can give you some information over the phone, and then we can just go from there. What's a good number to reach you on? And then looking at them ready to write. What's a good number to reach you on? And you know where they live, and you know where their name is. You should know their name by now. Excuse me. And oh, sorry about that. So you know where they live, you know what their name is, and um, and then you get their contact information. If they say they don't want to give their information out, then at that point you say, well, I'll tell you what, here, keep this, okay, and pass this along, maybe to your church or someone whose funeral you don't want to have to pay for. Okay, I can get in touch with your pastor, and maybe we can give back and do something nice for your church as well. Or someone you know that can't get coverage because their health isn't the best, we could probably get them covered or get them a better deal. Who comes to mind, um, while I'm in your area that I could go see, that I could get in touch with? And then you wait for their response. Well, this and that, and they give you objections. Well, I don't like giving people's information out, this and that. I said, okay, well, I'll tell you what, here you go. Take it, pass it along. And here's my phone number. We're also hiring too. So if you know anyone looking for a career, have them give me a call. And then that's it. Boom, on to the next. And so you're very persistent. All right. So you don't just let them. You're dictating the conversation. You are in control of the conversation, and you keep their attention just by asking them more questions. Now, there's of course many more objections that you're going to get than that process in that scenario there. Some other objections are, well, I already have, so we'll start from the beginning. All right, so I knock on your door, knock, knock. All right, I step back, and this is a random person. Hey, how you doing? My name's Dan. I'm with Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage Plan. You may have seen our commercial on TV. Just going around your community, want to make sure everyone's protected. Here's one of our brochures. Here, do you have any coverage currently? And they go, yeah, I'm good. I'll say, okay, great. That's through your work? Yeah. Okay, great. Well, usually, insurance through your work is only term insurance, and that eventually expires at some point. So it's always good to have permanent insurance too. They might say, oh well, I have other insurance. I'm good. I have whole life too. I said, oh wow, that's great. Well, most of our clients have coverage already, and we use ours specifically to cover those funeral expenses because we pay out in 24 hours. So that means you can use our plan to pay for those funeral expenses. The other plan that you have, you can use that as a legacy plan, okay, to give to the family or the kids and they don't have to tap into that, and that may not pay out for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. All right, so it's nice to have this as almost insurance for your insurance, pretty much. I'll tell you what, you don't have to do anything today. We pay out 24 hours. There's free funeral planning, a lot of free benefits that I can show you. There's no physical exam, just a few health questions. I can see what you qualify for, and we can just go from there. Where's a good place to sit down? Now, a key thing, you don't want to say, is it okay? Can we sit down? Or is it okay if we sit down? Because you're giving them the option to say no. You never want to give them that option. You say, where is a good place to sit down? And what I do is where's a good place to sit down? I lean in and I put my hand out like this, because when someone's coming in your house, you go, oh yeah, come on in. Well, I'm escorting myself into their home. And so they're like, okay, come on in. And some people are like, whoa. And that's okay. You don't want to beat a dead horse on to the next. There's, for example, in Pennsylvania, there's 12 million people that live in PA. Just in the Philadelphia area alone, there's 1.5 million people. So you're only looking to help at least one person a day. So the numbers are in your favor. Just play the percentages. So you want to do neighborhood enrollment when you first, knock on your leads and get referrals, and then do neighborhood enrollment in between to fill the gaps. I wouldn't utilize it as your main source of generating income here with Lincoln Heritage, but it's definitely a nice supplemental tool. And you never know. Sometimes when you go knock on doors and with your leads, you may not make any sales, but then the neighbors end up getting it. So, a lead is just an opportunity. So neighborhood enrollment will help you do that. Some other objections are, now's not a good time. Let me think about it. Let me talk to my husband about it. And the best thing to do, I can definitely go on more if you guys want at another time. But the best thing to just call your mentor, your coach, your upline, your manager, wherever you want to call them, all right, and ask them, talk to them, say, hey, this is what they said. What's a good objection for that? Okay, I didn't think about that. And that's all. All right.